Hey, control the trade here, and we're taking a look at Scorpio tankers. STNG is the ticker, and this one has been really interesting from a chartist perspective, and I know there's a lot of investors out there that have true conviction about this company, so it really got me interested in looking at the chart. So this chart's really interesting. Let's look back. When I first started learning about this, I think was probably in the summer of 2020. And we had I was just noticing on the chart, we had a couple fake out breakouts here where I personally thought that things would start to run better, and it just kept pulling back. Every time they tried to break out, it would pull back. So that's the only thing I'm worried about here, except the difference is we've finally broken above the 200 period moving average. Definitely a bullish move, except on Friday we decided to pull back and close just 4 pennies below the 200 period moving average. In any case, still bullish, still tons of room to move up, and still plenty of support. The other difference here is that we now have moving averages below here. We have the 20 and the 50 day and the 100 day moving averages all starting to curl and slope up. Definitely looks bullish to me on the chart. And then if we go to a longer term chart, a weekly chart, let's see how that looks. Okay, so this is interesting. If you're looking at the 50-week moving average, is this line right here. We ran into that briefly when we hit 15, got rejected. It would have been nice to close above 14 for the week, but in any case, this chart is looking great. You can see once we started to close above the 20-week moving average, which is this purple line here, we've been slowly creeping up. This is kind of the breakout area here. If you follow me on Twitter, I was mentioning 1177 is a really important area to stay above, and we kept closing below it until this candle right here. So this is a really strong move. We have good volume here on this week. Really would like to get back up above 1465, 15 to get things accelerating even more. Let's take a look at the monthly. Okay, so if you look at the monthly chart, you can see that we made our low here as it stands right now, and we still have a lot of room to the upside the way I read the charts here. The high of this candle here is 1904. Under normal market conditions, a stock will test the high of this breakdown candle, which kind of brings me to my 1880. There's a lot of other reasons. I'm not going to go through this video why I chose 1880. 1880 is my target here, and a really important number on this chart. If we can close any day, week, month above 1880, I'd say that's extremely a strong move. We'll start getting up here to start challenging these candles. If you look at any chart, you can compare, you can kind of see where things get rejected. You can look at any chart and see what has happened in the past, and you can learn from the past. So if you look at this chart here, looks rather bearish right here, starting to come down, this part of the chart. And then right here we made this big move. Okay, here's the high of this candle for the month, which was 29.50. We closed here below that, but then as soon as we close above 29.50, you better believe it's going to take off. 29.52, look at that. That was a bullish close. Then they tried a little fake out here, pulling all the way back to test the low of this candle, and then this one too. It's probably a nice little fake out doji, and then boom, we found our footing, ran up hard, probably a lot of shorts covering, and then at some point you hit your peak, and then the flush. And from there, once we were below this candle, I mean, this was a really bearish month here, whatever happened here, then you're just followed by this new cycle, this new downtrend. If you don't chart, or if you're not in a technical analysis, this is probably pretty hard to explain. It's a little esoteric, but you see it again and again on charts. Now, the bad news is this has been in a long-term downtrend, and it just needs to break out of that downtrend in order to get some footing. This area right here, you can see, is going to be really important. Got to look at these long-term moving averages. They're important. So the good news is there's so much upside. There's so much runway, and your risk is pretty low here. If your tolerance, if you can buy in 13 something, 14 something, and know that you're wrong, let's say below this candle here, the low is 1109. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good risk reward here. If you're willing to say, you know what, I can take this down to $11 and maybe cut and run if it's not working out for me. But my upside potential is, say, in the short term, $18, all the way up to, say, $39 a share. So going back to the daily chart, what we want to start seeing are closes above the high of this candle, or at least this candle here. We at least want to start seeing closes above 1433 on the daily chart, and we want to hold the level down around here. The low of this candle, 1332, is going to be an important area to hold. Might have some pullbacks here eventually. The way I see this playing out, shorts will cover and we'll squeeze up to 1880, and we'll find out what's going to happen from there. We might get a hard rejection up around that area, and that'll be really important to see how price reacts to that area. We'll keep an eye on this and other stocks in this sector of upside ahead for Scorpio. I hope this helps. Remember, these videos are intended mainly for day traders, but I try to give a long-term outlook as well. Thanks for watching. Remember, don't let the trade control you.